In the southeast of the Czech Republic, in the picturesque and fertile South Moravia region, is its capital, the city of Brno. In May of 2005, it became for a week the centre of European philately. The tradition of philately exhibitions in Brno has a long history. The first big exhibition here took place in 1923. After the successful international exhibition in 2000, it was decided that Brno would also host the European exhibition. Preparations began in 2001. Organisation for the Association of Czech Philatelists was entrusted to the reliable team from the Alfons Mucha Philately Club and the South Moravia branch office of Czech Post. The Presidium, which sets up the basic structure of the exhibition, officially gathered to discuss the preliminary suggestions for print materials. Over the next 4 years, this group put together the organisation committee that would arrange the exhibition spaces, contact the philatelist public, work out the IREX exhibition proposals, handle mailings and registrations, select exhibits, determine their placement, communicate with the media, design and prepare bilingual print materials, an overall visual style and medallions. Set up exhibition cases, receive and install the exposition materials, and prepare the exhibition bulletins. And these are just some of the activities that became the voluntary tasks of the philatelist, exhibition, promotion, technical, and international committee departments. Finally, all the parties involved had to be coordinated. This took place at the highest levels of Czech Post, the Philately Association, the Czech Police, the Communications Vocational School, the Brno Exhibition Centre, and other organisations. Less than a week before opening, everything started to take shape. All 555 exhibits were installed within 2 days. The most famous stamp in the world, the blue Mauritius from the British Royal Collection, and others were transported and installed under very high security. Preventive measures against serious crimes were secured for the whole exhibition, mainly by the Czech police, as very expensive and culturally valuable items had to be protected. The opening ceremony took place with the attendance of Dana Bérova, Minister of Informatics, Stanislav Juránek, Governor of the South Moravia region, Karel Kratina, General Manager of Czech Post, Pedro Vaz Pereira, President of the Federation of the European Philatelist Association, Lumia Brendel, President of the Union of Czech Philatelists, and other official representatives. The opening cultural programme featured the choir of the Jaroslav Kvapil Elementary School of Arts. After a performance by a folk group from Kobili, the Minister of Informatics, with the assistance of the Governor and the General Manager of Czech Post, officially opened the event. The chairman of the Philately Committee managed to save the Minister of Informatics from official duties and show her the exhibition in all its scope, and enlighten her about its most notable exhibits. In the evening, there was well-deserved refreshment at the reception for invited guests and organisers. The Moravian traditional Cymbalam group was much appreciated by the audience. The next day, the rhythm of the exhibition worked up to full speed. This continued over the whole week, spiced up with a rich accompanying programme. It was very interesting to meet the artists who make Czech stamps. Autographs were signed by graphic artist and engraver Jaroslav Tvrdoň, graphic artist Karel Dvořák, graphic artist and academy painter Dvorský, and graphic artist and academy painter Karel Zeman. Czech Post and the Ministry of Informatics, the official publisher, prepared some commemorative stamps and postal stationery. The latest philately materials were available at the exhibition post office. Czech television crews came several times throughout the event to shoot footage for morning broadcasts on philately. Over the course of the week, a mobile postal bus was stationed at Svoboda Square in the town centre, serving as a normal post office and promoting the exhibition. Every day at the exhibition centre there was a market of philately items. Many top quality collections have evolved from such events. In the main pavilion there were stands for dealers and postal administrations. The mintage of coins could be tried at the Kremnica mint stand. The studios of the Kremnica mint is where the exhibition medals and plaques were made by Academy sculptor Zdeněk Kolářský. Free consultation by experts was also available to help collectors determine the veracity of stamps. There was also something for future philatelists and stamp designers, a children's corner for young visitors, where postal workers attended to them and let the young postal workers serve their parents and peers from the postal counter. Commemorative gift items were also available for them. Evidently, it was exciting for the children to come up with their own postal stamp design. Both of the main organisers had a good formal base for their guests. At Czech Post, there were many official visits, and at the Philately Association, there was an oasis for tired members of the Philately Club. To add some variety to the vast number of exhibition boards, historical artefacts were also exhibited at the Postal Museum. Many of the patrons of philately were really looking forward to the British Royal Collection, exhibited with the consent of Queen Elizabeth II. It was not only the Mauritius, emblazoned with fascinating legend, but most importantly, the first stamp in history, the penny black, issued in 1840. These stamps remind us of the beginnings of philately, when British ladies collected as many of these world's first stamps as possible. The exposition was supplemented with other interesting classical and modern stamps from Britain and the colonies. In this honorary class, we could also see the world's first newspaper stamp, the Blue Mercury, issued in 1851 in the Austro-Hungarian Empire. It was designed by Brno native Josef Axmann. The only preserved unsevered unit of 80 stamps, on loan from the Postal Museum, was also on display. This exhibit was supplemented with original artists' engraving prints from the City of Brno Museum. The Postal Museum exhibited the original designs by Alfons Mucha for the first Czechoslovak stamps, Hradčany, issued on December the 18th, 1918. The exhibit included the first use of this stamp. As a reminder and memento of the 60th anniversary of the first use of nuclear bombs, and we hope the last, there is also an exhibit of a letter found in Hiroshima near the epicenter of the explosion in the debris of what was a bank. It is still radioactive today. In the first floor of the pavilion there were other exceptional exhibits, those of the members of the jury and the highest quality exhibits of the leading philatelists. Among the visitors of the competition section, you could see the jury members clustered together, conscientiously examining the exhibits. They further elaborated on their conclusions at regular meetings. The final decision was anxiously awaited by the exhibitors and the National Commissioners for the Palmare Awards. A total of 517 medals were awarded. For the non-specialist, this may seem like an inflated number, but for the expert, it is evidence of the high quality of the exhibits. The Grand Prix of the city of Brno was awarded to Hans van Doremalen of the Netherlands for the exhibit Postal History of Brno up to 1875. The National Grand Prix of the Federation of the European Philately Association was awarded to Zdeněk Mazura of the Czech Republic for Austrian post in the Czech lands from 1600 to 1850. The International Grand Prix of the Federation of the European Philately Association went to Wolfgang Hellriegel for his Italian exhibit Jammu and Kashmir 1860 to 1882. This also obtained the top prize in the traditional philately class. Of the Czech exhibits in this class, the top prize went to Jan Stolfa for Hradčany. The most points of all the exhibits was obtained by J. Barry of Great Britain for Mail between Britain and mainland Europe 1793 to 1815, which was in the Postal History class. In the Postal Stationery class, the only large gold medal was awarded to Bernd Vogel for his Austrian exhibit Switzerland Postal Stationery Envelopes 1867 to 1886. The top prize in the Thematic Philately class went to Heino Rhino of Finland for Weather. Of the Czech exhibitors, the best place was taken by Jiří Horák with The Motor Car. The highest prize in the literature class went to Italian publishers Vaccari SRL for their 4-volume The Post in the Est Territories and in the Duchy of Modena, History and Postal History 1453 to 1852. The exhibition also presented modern philately classes. The open class, for instance, included Czech exhibitor Jaroslav Rubišar with his railway vehicles, and Phil Road of the United States with the murder of Lidice. What is special about this class is that the exhibits can employ even non-philately materials. The most successful exhibitor in the youth class was Cédric Grelier of France, with his Christmas Traditions and Legends. His highest ranked Czech peer was Michal Musil, with Austria 1850 to 1918. Ceremonies for the Palmare Awards in the youth classes took place in the historical interior of the Old Town Hall. Comenius would appreciate being part of a special lecture for novice philatelists. The closing night gala was one of the last opportunities to share experiences and exchange opinions. The pleasant atmosphere was topped off with a very enticing programme. Some of the foreign guests were simply ecstatic. The European Postage Stamp Exhibition Brno 2005 managed to strengthen European solidarity and extend the knowledge of philately. Pedro Vaz Pereira remarked that there are not many postal administrations that can organise such an event. Evidence of the general success of this exhibition is the fact that we can invite you back to Brno for the European Postage Stamp Exhibition of 2010.